And we're live. Welcome everybody for this weekly live stream on the latest news of Web3. I'm Julian, and on Eat the Blogs, I help you to become a Web3 expert so that you can make more money, work on projects that you love, and have all the freedom that you want. So, do we have anybody live here? Say hi in the chat where you guys are from today. And so today we have a couple of important news to cover, and we're going to start with the market. But before that, if you are new here on the channel and you want to become a professional Web3 developer, make sure to register for my free masterclass. This is going to give you a complete roadmap for what you need to do to become a Web3 pro and get your first job in the space and make money in Web3. I put the link in the chat. So we have someone from Brazil in the chat. Enrique, hi Enrique. All right, so we're gonna start with the market. So it was a very volatile week. The price changed a lot. So there was a lot of euphoria on the market, and that's because U.S. authorities introduced what's called a credit facilities for banks. So basically, what happened after all these bank run, the U.S. authorities allowed banks in the U.S. to exchange their bonds against cash, so they can use the bond as collateral to borrow money from the bank, and so that pretty much protect them against any bank run that we might have in the future, because they don't have to sell their bond at a loss, but they can just loan it to the Fed and get cash in exchange. So yeah, so that basically solved the problem, the big scare that we had on the market. But that's just temporary. We'll probably just kick the can down the road, because it's going to inject even more liquidity in on the market. And so basically all this quantitative tightening that the Fed started about 1 year ago, it seems like they're already pivoting. It's already all they can do, and they've really reached the maximum of what they could do. So that basically means that inflation is probably going to be back. And yeah, so I mean, this is still not sure 100% that this is a pivot from the Fed, but this is quite likely. And so that means that probably we'll see more money flowing into equities and into crypto. And it's really possible that this is the beginning of the next bull market for crypto. So yeah, so there is a lot of euphoria in the market right now. So Bitcoin pumped a lot, and Ethereum followed. So what happened when you have a bull market is that you have this process in 3 steps. So step 1 is Bitcoin that is pumping. Step 2 is Ethereum, and after it's all the altcoin and the shitcoin. So we are still in phase 1, but the next one to pump is Ether. So yeah, overall, I hope that this prediction is going to realize, because we've been in a bear market since more than a year, so it's time to turn around. So with this being said, now we're going to talk of some news about the Ethereum protocol, because there are some an important update. So the staking withdrawal is scheduled to happen on April 12th. So that's very soon. So all the Ether that was staked will be available for withdrawal. And so we're gonna have 2 effects on this. So the first effect is that some stakers will want to unstake their Ether to get the cash out and then probably some of them will unstake and sell the Ether, but this is probably going to be a minority, because in general the people who got into staking, they are really long-term believer for Ether. So I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem for the selling pressure. And the other effect that we're going to have with this new update is a positive one, because if the withdrawal process goes smoothly and there aren't any technical problem, it's going to make Ethereum much more attractive for institutional investors because they will feel comfortable to buy Ether and stake it, knowing that they will be able to unstake it without any problems. So when you combine this positive and this negative effect, it's expected that the positive effect will be bigger than the negative effect, and so the net in the end it will be a net positive demand for Ether. So it should be quite bullish in the end. And if you check out the current staking reward, so that's 4% if you use a validator as a service. If you do it yourself, 4.4. So just as a comparison, currently the 1 year the treasury yield for a 1 year bond is 4.61%. So you get a little bit less if you stake Ether, which is a risky asset. But if you are a believer in Ether, you're also expecting Ether to appreciate a lot. So yeah, all in all, it's a pretty good deal for institutionals. All right, so next we go into a talk of Arbitrum. So big news this week. Arbitrum announced that they're going to do an airdrop. So you can check if you're eligible, and yeah, there are different criteria. So if you bridge fund into Arbitrum 1, conducted transaction during 2 distinct months, completed more than 4 transactions. So there are different criteria, and this is you just need to fulfill one of them. So it's not too strict. So we're gonna have many people receive their airdrop. So you probably, if you use Arbitrum in any way, you're probably gonna receive a couple of $1,000 in airdrop. So it's pretty nice. And so here, let me give you a tip. If you start to use some a crypto project that don't have tokens yet, you position yourself to receive an airdrop in the future. So start to do this when you notice something that is new, has no token. Try to use it a little bit, and then you might get a nice surprise a few months after that. So a bit more about Arbitrum. So Arbitrum is the biggest layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. Really, if you check this website, L2Bit, this is what you're going to see. So let me load this. So L2Bit here. Yeah, so this is the website that allows you to see the total value log for different layer 2 scaling solution. And so we can see that, yeah, Arbitrum here is the biggest one with $3.85 billion locked. So it's a pretty big deal. For example, Reddit used Arbitrum for their community points, and in the gaming space, Arbitrum is very appreciated because they have very low transaction fees, even lower than Polygon. So that's so that's a pretty big deal, and this token is really gonna help them to get more traction. So that's it for Ethereum, and next we are going to talk of Balaji, because we had a pretty crazy tweet from Balaji. So if you never heard of Balaji, so pretty famous billionaire, especially in crypto. He used to be the CTO of Coinbase, and he was also a general partner at A16Z, which is a very famous VC in the US. And so he is the author of The Network State. That's a book that explains how nations will evolve in the future. And of course, it's a very crypto vision, but it's very, very interesting to read this. And so he is very big in crypto, and currently is working on a project called 1729. It's basically a decentralized version of Twitter. So that's it for the general context about Balaji. And so last week, Balaji made a pretty crazy tweet. So he is ready to bet that the US dollar is going to enter hyperinflation, and that Bitcoin will go to $1 million in the next 3 months. So that's pretty insane. And yeah, so basically is making this bet with another dude. I don't know who is this guy, James Medlock, maybe an economist. And so yeah, so he said that yeah, he's moving $2 million to make this bet. So it's pretty insane. In 3 months, you think that Bitcoin is gonna go to 1 million. So, well, that's really interesting. I mean, do I think it's gonna happen? It seems, I think it's premature. Like, if the US dollar, I'm not even sure if one day the US dollar will enter hyperinflation. I hope not. If this happen, I don't think this is going to be in the next 3 months. However, with the current news that happened, like all the problem with the banks, etc., it's very, very possible that we're at the beginning of a new bull market. Very, very possible. But hyperinflation, I'm not sure. In any case, I don't really think that, a lot of crypto people that like to cheers on the demise of fiat currency, etc. Really, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, it probably means that the world is in big turmoil. And so you'll have a lot of trouble to actually sell this Bitcoin and use that money to buy real stuff, because the value at the end to buy real stuff, you still need fiat money. And so by the time you sell it and you actually use this money for something, it will have lost like another 10, 20, 30%. So hyperinflation, that's not necessarily in our best interest. But yeah, we might be at the beginning of a new bull cycle. And so follow this guy, Balaji. He's a really interesting guy. Yeah, all right. So that's it for the news about Balaji. And so next, we are going to talk of Coinbase. So Coinbase is exploring, let me remove this. All right. Coinbase is exploring going overseas because recently US authorities were very unfriendly to crypto. And so this could make Coinbase become an even more direct competitor to Binance if they decide to make this move. And so there were a lot of prominent figures in crypto that are warning that the US is quickly losing its attractivity for the crypto industry, especially after all the shutdown of the crypto-friendly bank like Signature and Silvergate banks. We could see a big crypto exodus out of the US. And it's not just the US, but we also have other countries in the Western bloc that are more and more anti-crypto, like the UK. So for example, this week, HSBC announced that they would ban purchases of crypto with credit card. The UK regulator, the FSB, will soon release a new crypto regulation. But I don't think this is a very smart move, because let's not forget that right now we have the war in Ukraine, and it's basically is helping other countries that are opposed to the Western bloc, like Russia, China, and Iran. It helped them to get together and to strengthen their alliance. And all these countries, they are quite keen to do whatever it takes to weaken the US dollar, including being friendly to crypto. So I don't think this is a very smart move of Western country to really go hard on crypto. For example, Hong Kong started to be very crypto friendly, exactly at the same time as the US went in the opposite direction. So yeah, we should pay attention to this. All right. So that's it for the news about Coinbase, and yeah, so that's pretty much all the news I wanted to cover today. So I'm gonna check the chat if we have any questions, but just before this, quick reminder: if you are new here and you want to learn how you can get in Web3 as a developer and get your first job, and what you need to learn, basically everything you need to do, check out my free masterclass. I put the link in the chat. It's free to register. It's going to save you a lot of time. So let me see if we have any question. Toby, hi from Canada. Hey man, Mr. Jeep. Hey Julian, what is the VS Code extension that you use to see the contract gas? Good question. I don't use a VS Code extension. I use I don't remember by heart, but there is an npm package that allow you to do this. So when you do test, I think it's something like is gas estimator or something like that. Yeah, Google like is gas estimator, and yeah, you can or is gas reporter, something like this. And I think this is a hot plugin. Yeah. Okay. Yevhen, hey, how to get an API of any Ethereum compatible contract if it's absent on the blockchain scanner site for JavaScript? Actually, I saw a project like this pop up. If um, if you, it depends. If you have access to the Solidity code, I oh man, I have it on the tip of my tongue, but there are a couple of tools who do this. Sorry, I can't remember, but it's possible that either Web3 or Ethers can help you to do this. Um, Google this, Google this question, and I think this tool that you're talking about exists. Uh, yeah. No more questions. No, 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 no. That's it. Okay. So in this case, guys, we are going to stop here. So thanks everybody for coming. Have a good week, and I will see you soon on the blocks. See ya. Bye.